Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will build API routes using Express Router. So in the root folder, we will create a new folder with the name routes. And inside the routes folder, I will create a new folder with the name API. And inside this API folder, I'll create a new file with the name users.js. So users.js file is a route file, and in my route file, we need to pull express. So const express equals to require express. And we will create an instance of express router. So const router equals to express dot router. R should be capital. Okay. And we also need to use bcrypt. So const bcrypt equals to require bcrypt JS. Okay, let me save this. And then we need to bring in user models. So const user equals to require dot slash models slash users. Okay, user. Let me save this. Now we need to create the routes. Okay, so router dot get, and the first argument is a slash, and second one is an arrow function. So request and then response. Okay, and we will send a response. So res.send, and we will send a string which is called user route. Okay, this is just a string. Okay, and let me add a comment at the rate route. Okay, this is a get route. Okay, so API slash users. Okay, then I'll just add a description test route. Okay, this is a test route. Then what about the access? Access is public. Okay, then the second route is router dot get. Okay, sorry, router dot post. The first argument is a slash, and the second one is an arrow function. So your request response, and this is asynchronous, so async. And inside this arrow function, we need to destructure name, email, and password from request body. So const name, email, and password, and we are destructuring this from request rect.body. Okay, and let me add a comment here, destructuring, so we don't have to prefix with rect.body. Okay, let me save this. Then we will use try catch block, and inside this try block, I'll define a variable user. Okay, with the name user. Select user, then we will use await, and then we need to find the user by its email. So user dot find one, and we are going to use the email to find the user. So email. Okay, save this. Then if the user exists, okay, if the user exists, then we will return response dot status, that is going to be 400, and we need a JSON format. So dot JSON, and this is the error. Okay, and here we will take an array, and inside we can take an object. So message, that is going to be user already exists. Okay, let's save this. Then if the user does not exist, then we need to create the user. So user equals to new user. Okay, and we need name, email, and password. And then we will create a salt using a function called bcrypt.gensalt. Okay, so here I'll take a variable const salt equals to await, and the function is bcrypt dot gen salt. Okay, save this. Then we will create the user password. So user dot password equals to await, and we need to hash the password. So bcrypt dot hash. This is the function to hash the password. So the first argument is password, and the second one is salt. Okay, save this. Then we need to save the user. So await user dot save. Okay, let's save this. Then if everything works fine, then we will have a response. So this dot JSON, this will be in JSON format. So this dot JSON, and the response will be request dot body. Okay, rec dot body, which will be in JSON format. And if there is an error, then we can console log error dot message. We can have a response of status. So response rest dot status, and which is going to be 500 dot send server error. Okay, let me save this, and lastly we will export the module. So module dot export equals to router. Okay, let's save this, and let me add a comment here as well. So route, that is post. Okay, API users, then we have a description that is going to be registered user. Okay, and access, that is again going to be public. Let's save this, and now inside the server.js, we need to initialize the middleware. Okay, so after connect to database, I'll add a comment initialize middleware, and here we need to write app.use. Okay, to initialize we need to add this line. So app.use express.json, and the property for extended will be false. Okay, save this. So before this, we need to install body parser, but now we don't have to do it. So let's add a comment here. So we used to have to install body parser, but now it is a built-in middleware. Okay, and function of express. Okay, this is a function of express, and it parses incoming JSON payload. Okay, let's save this, and now this is a test route. Okay, this was just a test route, so let's remove this. This is not required, and now we need to say app dot use, and here we need to write slash API. So API users, and then a comma, and require, and dot slash routes slash API slash users. Okay, so this is how I'll tell my app what route file to use for my API users, and I'll specify routes API users. Okay, let's save this. Now we can test this route. Okay, so we can just test this. So let's go to Postman, and let me add a new one, and here I'll write HTTP localhost colon 5000 API, and instead of auth I'll be using users, and this is a post request. Okay, so as you can see, this is a post request, and then we need to click on headers, and here content type will be application slash JSON. Okay, and then we need to click on body raw, and here we need to select JSON, and here I'll take an object. The first one is name, I'll just add Samir. Okay, and second one is email, that is going to be Tech Academy 2019 @gmail.com, And the third one is password, and the password is 123. Okay, let's test this. So I'll click on send. So we are getting some error, could not send request. So let's go to VS Code, and here I think there is some mistake. So here it is required. Okay, let me save this. This was just a typo error. And let's go back and let's try it again. So if I click on send, okay, still we are getting some problem. Let's go back and let me see the user. Okay, here says module not found. Routes API user.js cannot find module. Okay, spelling error. Okay, so where it is. Okay, decrypt. Okay, let's close this. And now I think it should work. So click on send. Okay, so we are getting a response. Okay, so as you can see that the request.body is in JSON format. The reason behind this is, so let's go to Visual Studio Code. And if I go to users.js, so here as you can see, response, so res.json. Okay, so we say that request.body should be in JSON format. So response should be in JSON format, and the response will be request.body. Okay, and here we can use JSON because in server.js we have initialize express.json. Okay, so we have used this middleware. So this is why we can have JSON format. Okay, so this is something which I wanted to explain you. And then now let's try that what if the user is already exist. Okay, so let's go to Postman, and if I click on send again, so we will get an error which says user already exists. Okay, but there is no validation. Okay, let's say if I change this email to a string, okay, a normal string, which is let's say if I say not a valid email. Okay, so this is not an email ID, this is just a string. So if I click on send, so now this user is been added. Okay, which is having invalid email. So this is not correct. There should be some validation which says that this is an invalid email. Okay, so let's go to MongoDB and let's check the collection. Okay, so if I go to collection, so as you can see, we have two collections. So first one is this Samir, and which is having an email ID of Tech Academy 2019 at Gmail. And the second one is also being added, which is having a wrong email ID. Okay, which is not having an email ID, which is having only a string. So this is not the correct way of adding a user. So the user should have a proper email ID. Okay, so this we will see in the next video. But for now, let's delete both the users. Okay, and let's delete this also. Okay, so both the users have been deleted, and we will see how to validate this in the next video. So this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye.